lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, they'll take to the stage on invisible strings. Once in my castle, their roles are assigned, their fates in the game, forever entwined. Under cover of night, the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back, or be the next play? Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. From the meek to the fierce, pawns to dictators, bound by the strings of the silent orchestrators. Every move, every breath, a twisted decree, a game of betrayal. No one's truly free. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Who can you trust when the darkness descends? The blade in the back, the whispers of friends. The court is a theater, the blood-stained stage, a dance of deception, a war in a cage. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, all are mere puppets on invisible strings.
I mean, it could have been a murder weapon too. Murder. I can't do it. Hey, Jackie, how you doing?
That was good. That was good. I was like, what? I mean,
It's
at
my
this point, they're all going to murder each other.
right. That tie
Oh,
clip was amazing. I loved it.
yes.
What an amazing freaking episode that was. I mean, from the very beginning when they met in the Tourette and Carolyn wanted to kill them both to the very last moment. It was so good.
Yes. And she's going to kill them both again.
I know.
It's going to be good.
It really is. It really is. I got some pictures to share this time
Ooh.
as we go through. But
I'm
yeah, that was at
excited.
the very beginning of the episode, and the Tourette's going crazy, like all voting for each other.
I wonder if there's like a hole in the middle that they could like throw somebody down, because that's where somebody's going to end up.
Right, right. And I guess that's kind of, isn't that what those are? I don't even know.
It might be like the where the bell is, I think, for the castle, if they have a bell for a castle. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't either. So how's everybody doing? Mr. Black Wolf is over here from your stream. Hey, Kate.
Hey, Mr. Black Wolf. I
And
know
there's always
I'm still editing the description as I speak because we found out about Restream last minute today.
oh my
That
god.
was a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry about that. That I waited so long, and then it took forever to figure out the link and all of that good stuff.
Oh, it's all good.
But Heidi, I know Heidi is probably pretty mad at Restream because Heidi's one of the people that switched from StreamYard to Restream. So
Yeah.
it's for another day, but I am interested to hear Heidi's thoughts on that and maybe complain with her another time on
Yeah. I'm
Restream.
just like, now what am I going to do? I really have to learn this other software.
Yeah,
Because I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm going to go over to Restream. It's going to be good. And now they've upped their price. So it's like, all right, you guys are all crazy. I'm going to OBS.
If OBS wasn't so darn difficult and I don't know. I think there's stuff on OBS that you can't do that you can do, like sharing comments and stuff like that on the screen. I don't know. The
You
little
can't invite guests up with OBS. You would have to do that through Discord. That's like what the locale universe has to do because they use OBS. So they have to do everything through Discord. So that would be the only shitty part.
Hey, Jandy.
Hey, Jendi.
Hey, Sherry from your stream.
Hey, Sherry. I haven't seen you in a
I guess you
minute,
can't
girl.
see. I guess you can't see my backstage the way I can.
No.
Okay.
I I thankfully can see your comments on the screen, which shows us everybody. So that works great for me.
Okay. Good. Because yeah,
So,
that's hey Anne. Because that's a shame because it pops up in purple for me whenever they come in from your chat, so I can see right away that they're coming in from a different place.
oh, okay. Yeah, that sucks. That's Restream for you. See, look, we learned
And as
new
much as they're
things.
charging, they should give you that feature.
Right? God
Since
damn
we're
it,
both
Restream.
using Restream, they should be able to do that since we both have them.
Yes.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. All right, stupid Restream. We really could bitch for a while on this one, but
Yeah.
we have way better things to talk about. Hey, Steven.
Yes. Like this
So,
week's episode.
yes. So they are at the very beginning of the episode. They are up in the turret, wondering. Oh my gosh, okay, my notes here they are right in front of me. Right. Robin was murdered and then Nikki was banished. So the episode begins where they're in the turret, and Carolyn said that she had heard her name today, and Danielle was denying it at first.
Yep.
Um, they accuse each other of working against each other. Rob interjects. He's like, "Stop, stop."
Well, I love how like they all just start looking at each other and nobody's saying anything. And Karen's like, "Well, let me just say something then. I've heard my name thrown out." And I'm
Right?
like, I'm glad somebody said something because we're not. It's not a staring contest here, guys. Like,
Right. He's like, "We're all supposed to be working together here," and she's like, "Well, we're not."
yeah,
Happening. That's Rob's expression, basically.
yeah.
It's the entire thing.
And
So
Rob was just like, I love too that Carolyn just like cuts him off. Is like, well, you could kill me. It's like,
right.
yeah, that's what happened.
I do not believe anything either one of you says. Rob swears he wouldn't ever kill them. She's like, yeah, I don't believe you. I don't believe either of you.
yeah.
She's like, right now there is nobody I'd rather murder than the two of you.
Yes.
Yes. So Danielle tries to then go into trying to play off, and I love Danielle. I do. This is like Danielle is giving Danielle, and it's awesome. She goes into trying to play off this dysfunctional family excuse. Like, no,
Yeah.
No, you're not a dysfunctional family. You guys didn't ever, none of you ever played together. I mean, Rob and Carolyn sort of have a Survivor link, but not really because Rob's time in Survivor was so long ago. She is so new to the game that there would barely be, a tiny connection,
Yeah.
But so they're not a family at all. But she promises that she's going to make it right tomorrow, and she apologizes over and over and over again.
But Carolyn's face the entire time is just this big, wide open mouth face. Like she's just standing there like, I don't
No,
believe you. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, you're
the,
sorry. Okay. You're going to make it right. Okay.
oh yeah, oh that's right. The wide. I think I've got. Actually, I think I might have a picture of her wide-eyed in here. Oh wait, well that's a good expression. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
not that.
Well, not him, no.
The
Oh,
next one.
fucking Sandoval, man. He was a riot this episode. I'm going to go in on him.
That look.
Yes. She has the best expressions. I will say that. She has some
She
crazy
really
expressions.
Her expressions and everybody sees her face. She cannot hide her face at all.
Well,
So
even in this photo right here, she has the O face going on. Like the oh my god. That was the face.
right. Danielle is not playing good at all. Danielle is kind of playing the game that she played on Big Brother, but she had a lot more time to get into people's heads and work things out because you've got so much time in between eliminations. Whereas this game is so fast paced that it really is a lot more based on the person who gets the last word. And
Yeah.
she's just not, she doesn't, I don't think she's as equipped, but she's giving Danielle. She's giving the evil devil Danielle that everybody didn't, all the players got mad at when she played Big Brother. Even her boobs don't hide her face, right, Pippi? That's great.
No.
That's great because she was wearing something kind of provocative, and even her, even her chest, what
Yeah,
she was wearing doesn't hide. It doesn't, her face is all face.
it is.
Hey,
So
Lack.
finally though, like
Yes.
Rob starts like he's like the first one who's like, all right, well, who are we gonna murder? Like we gotta come up with a game plan. Who are we gonna murder and where are we gonna go from there? And
Yep.
Danielle says, well, we can't murder Sierra or Dolores because they are the two that have the shield. So Rob throws out West because he's a threat to him, which Danielle does agree, but says they can't kill him because then it automatically would look at Rob. Which I'm thinking to myself, well, if that's what you want is him out of the game, Danielle, why wouldn't you agree with him?
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Um, but then it seems that she actually did try to go that route at the end. But yeah,
Yeah.
right there, she was agreeing with him. And then, where were they steering? And then also, Bob. So Bob Harper was next that they discussed.
Yeah. I love Bob Harper.
I do too.
I did not want to see him go.
And Rob said because he had also been bringing up his name that he was the other one that had to go
Yeah.
if it couldn't be Wes. And then Danielle wants Ivor to go
Yeah.
at
Which
that
is
point.
because everyone sees him as a good faithful and no one's going to banish him. And it's
Right.
like, I get that makes sense, but like, that just doesn't, that's not strategic at this
It's a
point.
it's a wasted murder.
Yes. Yes.
um so the threat ends and they all like hug each other. They hug it out.
Yes.
Bunch of fake ass hugs. Because
Yeah.
yeah, like Lax said, it is the first time, and I haven't watched all the franchises, but I would almost bet in all the franchises, this is the first time they've had all three traitors like completely warring with each other
Oh,
in
yes.
any of the franchises in any episodes or anything. I mean, it is amazing. It is making this season so elevated that
It is.
it really is. Um, so then they hug it out, and we get to breakfast. And first to enter are Dolores, Sierra, Carolyn. Uh,
Yeah.
Dolores tells the confessional at that point that she needs Danielle to come back because Danielle saved her, and that she would have complete survivor's guilt if Danielle was murdered.
Yep. Which I thought that was pretty interesting. Which Sierra tries to continue saying, like, you know, what if she doesn't come back? Like, and then that's when the knock on the door comes, because Dolores just has such bad survivor's guilt at this point, and I feel so bad because that's just Dolores. That's how she is on The Real Housewives. She's always trying to make everyone friends again, and it never works for her.
Right. And she is the type to have that survivor's guilt of being the last housewife standing also.
Yes,
She's already
yes.
carrying that with her. So
But I'm like, where was this? Like, Dolores, you even felt, yes, like, well, last week's episode that, like, it was weird that Danielle put you up to get a shield. Where's that energy? Now you have
right.
the survivor's guilt, like, you slept on it, and now it's like, you feel bad. You're going in the wrong direction. I thought you were going in the right direction. So,
Heidi, you are going to love season 1. Oh my God, I was so excited. Season 1, the winner, just amazing. Amazing.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
it was just so vindicating. The season 1 winner. That's all I'm going to say. If you watch reality TV, very vindicating. So then Sierra starts talking and starts to talk about Danielle and says, do you ever think she's a traitor because of the crying? I'm not. And then there's a knock on the door and new traitors come in. So it completely cuts her off. But she's got this little moment of Danielle's suspicion that she
Yes.
didn't really get to finish her thought of.
Which I'm so mad because I wish she could, because that's why Dolores looked at her weird in the church.
Yep.
And it would have helped Dolores kind of maybe re-click again, but I don't think she got cut off.
Right. Now, Spooky History with Megs just came in from your chat. Hey, Megs.
Hey, Megs.
Hey, Dreamy. Hey, Cree.
Yes. And that's where we saw then Gabby, Brittany, and Derek come in next,
Yes.
which
That's where
was
Derek, he starts asking the group, or starts to say with the group, Rob, what an amazing move. Now, if you're a traitor, wouldn't you take him out?
right. Yes. And Sierra says it could be a crazy move, but Rob was going after Bob the drag queen because Rob's a traitor. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
She also says he's putting his dick on the table, which I thought that was funny.
I love her. And Derek's sitting right there, and Derek's like exclaims, "Woo!" Like he's all excited about the dick on the table of Rob getting evicted. Like suddenly her mouth isn't too much for him anymore.
Right? Right? Oh, now it's okay because she's
Right.
not up.
And then Carolyn's just sitting there, her eyes darting. Like Carolyn, she doesn't get these crazy eyes. I mean, she has like crazy eyes, but she doesn't actually have the bulge or the intensity. It's just that her mouth expressions and the way she's looking everywhere. And I guess, like, I don't know, maybe her eyes have like personality, but it's, hey, cat. But it's not that crazy eye intensity, even though she's got these crazy eyes going everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
it's a weird kind of crazy eyes. I know exactly what you mean because I thought the same thing. I'm like, what kind of giving yourself away? But no one
right.
notices,
They're just like, oh, that's Carolyn.
which is weird
Carolyn and her
because we
crazy
noticed.
eye.
Yeah, her and her crazy eyes. Oh
Right.
yeah.
um, so
And
then we've got
that's
Derek in
yeah.
the confessional starting to suspect Rob, saying
Yep.
that if Rob was a faithful, he wouldn't care how it looked, he would murder him. And if Rob walks in, all eyes are on him because he should be dead.
Yes, and I agree. It does look pretty bad. And then we get the knock on the door, and it's Sherelle, or I always say her name so bad. Sherelle. I did say it right, didn't I? Sherelle.
Chriselle.
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 Thank you. Chriselle. I'm never going to get it right. Chriselle, Sam, Sandoval and Mr. Rob and Dylan. I thought that was a lot of people to come in the door.
It was 5 people at once. I thought so too.
Yep. And
I
Derek's
kept having
just
to
like,
pause and write down who was coming.
Rob. Yeah. Derek sees Rob and he's just like, Rob, you should be dead.
Yes. Nice to see you, buddy. I wasn't sure if I thought you were in trouble. You know, you should be dead. And Sierra's like, that's when they realized, I guess they were the last. They were the 5, and then the last 3 were going to come in of all. So Sierra says that she's going to set the place on fire if Bob Harper is gone. And then
Yes.
Brittany's joking around like, would anybody even notice if Ivor was gone?
Yes.
And you continue. I need to step away for 2 seconds and check my door.
Not a problem. So the last 3 come in, and it's, of course, Danielle, Wes, and Ivor, which everyone is happy till they realize that Bob H is the one that got murdered, which I was very sad to see Bob H go because I really liked him and I was hoping that he would make it a little further. But that's where we then get to the recap of the discussion in the tower at night, where Danielle says that Wes, would think that Rob is going to put him between him and Derek because people think that one of the new guys could be a traitor. But Bob H, on the other hand, is trying to formulate plans to get rid of Rob. So that's why they went with Bob H to be murdered, because he was formulating plans to get Rob murdered. Which, I mean, at this point, there's a lot more other things happening, but Rob is the one that everybody's going with and what he thinks. So, unfortunately, we see Bob H walk into the confessional where that beautiful note that Danielle got all of her, not Danielle, Carolyn, got all of her fingerprints all over it with the ink. He sees it and he's immediately just like, fuck. He couldn't believe that he was chosen, and he thinks that the Traitors are playing a really ballsy game and that they're very invincible right now because they're all so hidden. And he's also angry over the thought of why he got murdered, which, I was angry for him too. And then we go back to the breakfast, which Dolores is happy that Danielle came through the door because she was having that survivor's guilt, though she regrets that Bob H is murdered because she just was sure that she was safe with Boston Rob, and they let him have the power that it just ruined everything.
Yep.
Yep.
And then at that point, Alan comes in to his
Yes.
perplexed little posse.
I love that.
It's not the scent of the coffee. It's it's not the scent of coffee I smell. It's the scent of death, from treadmill to dead still and smash.
Yes.
He throws
I love his little lines.
I do too. He throws it at the floor, throws it on the floor, and says, "We've got a mission today to blow things up."
Mm-hmm.
And then he leaves, and they start talking again.
Yes.
Wes says he's back to square one while Tom is eating.
God.
Dolores, let's see, is that where let's see, I think I've got some pictures of that.
Tom eating.
But it might be Tom eating at the end of the day, not the beginning. Yeah, it was Tom eating at the end of the day. Because next we've got competition picks. So okay. So
Yes.
let's see.
Well, Dolores says that Boston Rob was packing yesterday, which he agreed that he was. And that's where Sandoval has a mouthful of food. And it's like, chew your damn food, you fool. And he says, I asked about packing and was like, should I just get my shit together too? And Gabby says to Sandoval, you know why you are here. You're just too chaotic.
and his mouth is full the entire time he's talking. They had to actually put the words up on the screen because you
Yes.
couldn't understand what he was saying because his mouth was full.
Yes. It's like, dude, did you learn to like finish chewing before you speak? Like,
No, it's really weird. His eating habits.
he shovels it. He
Yeah,
shovels it in his mouth too.
yeah. And he seems like he doesn't eat with the group. Like he eats in secret or something. I don't know. Not really secret, but like he likes to eat alone.
Yeah, it's
Weird.
weird. He's
Anyway,
very weird.
so breakfast is over. They're all chatting around the house. Tom pulls Brittany to the side and says his theory that it's Dolores.
Yes.
She's like, nope. He's like, yes. He's like, stop saying no. She's like, no, it's not her.
Yeah. And they
She's
go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like,
yep.
shut the fuck up, Tom. You this is what they mean you're chaotic. You have all these crazy theories and that's just too chaotic for everybody. That's why nobody believes you.
Right. She's like, okay, I already had a headache. He is not helping things. Um, so then she says that he's on theory 73 and it's not even 9 a.m. yet.
Yes.
So then
Yep.
you've got Rob, Dolores, and Ivor. Um, Rob is saying, do you suspect anyone? Dolores says, right now I'm at a loss, and I can be convinced at the round table with any good theories or anything anyone has to say, basically.
Yep. And
Um,
Rob's like, well, people listen to them and he's thinking about Wes. And that's where like he throws out Wes's name. And he explains that Wes was the one that was so sure it was Nikki and that he was going after Nikki, which Dolores says, you know, it did, make it kind of diverse, of course. Like it was a move to kind of throw people off. And she kind of agreed with Rob on that. That maybe something's going on with West.
yep, yep. Um, so Tom then is trying to convince Derek that it's
Yes.
Dolores because
Yeah.
she's the most worried now. I mean, well, Tom, I wonder why she's the most worried when all the other housewives have been eviscerated.
Right?
So yeah, he says that she's the most worried that he's seen in a while. Also, like he knows her so well. And how long have they been there? It's episode 6, but this is the most worried he's seen her in a while. And he thinks it's Dolores. He says that he saw guilt in her.
Yeah.
He saw guilt. Wes comes in. He says, "Who's guilty?" Tom says, "Dolores."
And I love Derek. Derek's just like, hey, can you leave? I need to
Yeah,
talk to Wes for a second. And Tom
let the
just
men
like
talk.
leaves. He doesn't even
I
think
know.
twice.
He doesn't, and he's so stupid because that would be suspicious as hell. If
Right?
I mean, I probably would leave. Hey, Shay, from your chat, I probably would leave.
Hey,
Um,
Shay.
but I would make mental suspicious notes of that. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, he did say that he was going to be watching over them or something as he walked away, but he didn't. He didn't. He just kept walking, which was good.
I missed that because yeah, it didn't seem like it even affected him. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So then Derek is saying to Wes that we are going to have to pull the plug sooner than we thought. I trust you 100%. And Rob is starting to be mentioned. Between both of us, we've got the influence to get him out. And if he's a traitor and me and you are sitting pretty, and the new guy theory is gone. And Wes is like, but what if he's not a traitor?
And Derek also says too, he goes, any bro, he got the mole at the door, which that was saying it to Sandoval being at the door. So he thinks that like Tom is a mole for
Oh, I didn't know what that
Rob.
meant. I was like really confused.
Yes. But Tom had already walked all the way away that like really the mole was a bad mole if he was a mole.
Right? Yeah. um,
Yep.
Rob, and then Wes is telling the confessional um, that he's torn. He wants to rip Rob up, but as a traitor, but he doesn't want his game to be based solely on Rob being a traitor. either.
Yes.
He
Yep.
says his hands are tied. He's got to work with Derek, which I guess his hands were tied. I don't know. If you're really good, then you try to
Yeah.
find another option. It didn't seem like he was trying to think of other options, but maybe they just edited it like that.
Yep. And then we see Brittany and Carolyn. They're in the kitchen, and Brittany tells her that she did hear that Carolyn had mentioned her name. And at this point, Carolyn's taking like a big sip, I think, of orange juice, and she just spits it right into the trash can. And she has that wide open mouth
Yeah.
again. And she's just like, "What? I swear on my life that I have never said your name." And she's like, where would you even hear
It was
this?
like she gave me like choking, puking fakeness, is what she was giving me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It was
swearing
bad.
she didn't. Brittany doesn't actually say Danielle, but Carolyn knows it was Danielle.
Yep. Yeah. And of course there's Danielle like trying as they're saying it, she's like walking towards the kitchen, but she actually doesn't go in the kitchen,
Right.
which I thought for a minute that she was, but
Right. um. So,
and Carolyn's just pissed. She's just pissed after she hears this even more about
yep.
Danielle.
She said, "Whoever's saying her name is trying to start shit. Who she'd fucking say. Wait, whoever's saying what Carolyn said her name is the last name she'd ever fucking say, and whoever told her that is trying to start shit." Is what she tells
Yep.
Brittany. She tells the confessional she's pissed because today was supposed to be about Danielle earning her trust back. Which Danielle is right. She
Yep.
didn't say anything today, but all of the real fallout from yesterday was happening today. And Danielle didn't account for that. Danielle didn't pull her aside and be like, hey, by the way, these people might come up to you because I talked shit about you to them. That would have showed that there was a real trust there and that she was trying to work to get her back if she
Exactly.
had prepared her for any of that.
I don't Danielle didn't even try to talk to anyone either, like at least from what I saw.
Right.
Like to even try to persuade whoever she told that like it was like maybe she was wrong about
Right.
Carolyn. But Carolyn's in the confessional. She's like, "You got caught, Danielle. You
Yeah.
got
Oh my
caught."
God, that's
I was like,
great.
"Yes."
That was great. So then it's on to the mission. And we've got
Yes. We had
no
Oh,
good.
you can go. We had Rob, Dylan, West, and Derek in one car. And Rob is wondering what the mission is going to be. And he's pondering because Alan said it's going to be explosive. And Dylan thinks it's going to be one of these where they guess wrong, then something's going to blow up in their face, which Derek agrees it might be something like that. Dylan then says if there's a chance to disguise who gets the shield, let's not tell anybody. And they all agree to that, which I thought that was good.
Yes. Yes, that was good. Um, then they pull up and they see the figure.
Oh,
I am
yes.
showing here on the screen the different angles.
Sandoval was just like, what the hell? Oh my God. Like, he thought he was seeing a ghost in the
I
car.
know, he's so stupid. Basically, what they had to do was there's this big black barrel in the middle. They had to get that filled up with enough gunpowder to blow up the big traitor, the murderous traitor.
Yes. And they would bank $30,000. So it was like an all or nothing kind of
Yeah.
mission, which in the woodlands, there were 20 locked wooden crates that they needed to find and open. And they had like questions on it that were number based that they had to answer correct. If not, it would blow up on them. And only 3 of the crates had shields. And they had to, I think he said it was um, 1,500 pounds of gunpowder that they had to fill the barrel up to be able to blow up this 20-foot statue. Oh my God, that's a lot of gunpowder. That's a
That is a
lot.
lot of gunpowder. And the fact that it took them 15 minutes just for everybody to get shields, and they only had 15 minutes left to get all the
Yes.
gunpowder, it must. not have seemed like as much, or I guess with all of them collecting in those barrels, must have been a good enough size or something. I don't know, but
Well, what I noticed is the shield ones were all the farthest away, which each group went to the shields first, which were the farthest
oh,
away. So they had passed a bunch of crates first to go to find the shield first. All of them decided to do
that's true.
this. And what was also weird was that the shield crates each had the same question on it,
Yeah.
which I thought that was kind of weird.
Why?
Because I knew that they had to break up into groups, but what if they didn't break up into groups and like they decided to just,
Ah,
go their own separate ways? That would have been weird if someone got to that same crate twice with the same question and knew the answer, kind of a thing.
right.
But I mean, Alan did say maybe it would be good to work in groups, so maybe that's where they didn't think like I did with it. So
And
it's all good.
Anne doesn't watch this. She said she's gonna have to start watching it now. And I just need to point out, Anne, this castle is your next door neighbor. How can you not watch it when you live next door to the most well dressed man in the country of Scotland? Come on,
Right?
you don't watch Traitors? It's in
How
the
dare
Scottish
you?
Highlands, and the castle. You know, you live right next door to the castle. Come on, I've been looking for you every episode in the background.
Going for a brisk walk in the
Yes.
woods.
One of these days it's gonna drive by Anne's castle. Come on. Oh, all right. So then yeah, so Derek is telling
So they,
oh, go ahead.
yep. No, they split up into groups. And we had Wes, Dylan, Rob, and Sierra in one group. We had Derek, Brittany, Dolores, Chriselle, and Sam in one group. And Carolyn, Ivor, Gabby, Sandoval, and Danielle in another group.
Yes.
Which you were saying that Derek was trying to tell
Oh yeah,
them
well Derek was telling the
at least
confessional
two
he
guys.
wanted the
Yeah.
shield because he wanted to take
Oh,
a bad
yes,
shot at
yes.
Rob. That would make him feel safer. While in the meantime, Rob is yelling at everybody, 2 guys and 2 girls each team. So this is just as they're
Yeah.
splitting up into the teams. Um,
Yes.
Chriselle and Wes also want shields. Wes also knows Rob wants to seek immediate revenge, and that's why he wants the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Wes thinks Rob's going to slice his throat if he gets a whiff of him coming after him.
Yeah.
We've got Gabby says that Ivor is going to have a bloody heart attack any minute because he's having trouble getting up there. So then they start to get to the shield boxes, and I will let Jackie talk about this and explain the pictures.
Yes. So the shield boxes, they each have this question on it, which was how many players were left on the pontoons in the first mission? Which the first people to get to their first shield box was Carolyn, Ivor, Gabby, Sandoval, and Danielle, which the correct number was 8. Sandoval's the one punching it in. As Sandoval's opening it, Carolyn is immediately reaching in and grabbing the shield. Tom is pissed. And he looks at Carolyn and is like, do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? He's also at the same time trying to grab it from Carolyn, which in his confessional, he says that he looked at Carolyn and then Carolyn reached in and grabbed it and took it from him, which that's not what happens. As you can see, Carolyn's already in the box. Tom's not in the box. Now Tom is in the box as Carolyn is grabbing it out. And he's now trying to grab it from Carolyn. Tom is just selfish. And this is what people don't realize. He's a
That is
selfish
such a
prick.
good
See?
catch because I did not catch it at
Yes.
all.
Yeah, and he was trying to, and you could hear someone say, like, grab the shield, which Carolyn did grab the shield, which I had the subtitles on,
Yeah, I'm going back. I want to watch it
which was,
again
yep,
because look, you've got as
yes,
she was saying right there, you've got her going in to get it. He's looking in, but then in the next shot, whoops, they're both
yep,
going
he's,
in, but she grabs it
and he grabs the red blanket, which she grabbed the blanket with the shield. So he's just grabbing the blanket, thinking he's grabbing the shield too from her.
Right, but you can see
But all he grabbed was the
she's got
blanket.
it in her hand, and he's like trying to almost like he's trying to pull it out of her hand. Yeah.
Yes. And Gabby is with them, and Gabby says, I thought we were going to discuss who gets it. And Sandoval says in his confessional, he says, well, I thought that we were going to discuss it, so that's why I was upset. No, you were trying to snatch it from her. You only said that because Gabby said
Yeah.
it. So when you came back to do your confessional, that's why you said it. He's like he mimics everything everybody says, no matter what it is. It's all the time.
He does.
And it pisses me off because I know him all too well, because I watch him all the
Right.
time, to know that he's just a sly little snake, and he wanted that shield from himself, and he tried to play it off like he didn't do anything wrong, when in reality he did, and I paused it to get it because I knew he was a sneaky little snake.
Amazing. You got some great thoughts.
Thank
And then
you.
the next eventful thing that happened was Rob falling into the water, and so I filmed that and took the liberty of
Yes.
slow-mo and that shit, so let's watch.
Oh my God, trust me.
Watch his feet come up.
Ah! And then he tries to play it off like it's cold. It's just cold. It's like, no, you tripped. You fell and you tripped. You were already in there.
Okay, let's see.
Oh my God, trust me.
Look at Dylan's.
I love Dylan. Dylan's just
Luckily,
laughing.
it's not that deep. You can tell by how he fell. It's just a couple of feet, if that. But
Yeah. Dylan's just laughing like, oh, get back up. It's not that bad. They were the only team, though, that had to cross water. So that sucked for them.
Yeah, that was weird that they were the only ones that had to cross water too. Because I was waiting for the rest, hoping somebody else would fall. Because that was
Yep.
hilarious. So they get everything back in time, like we were saying before. They win the $30,000.
Wait, I have a real quick thing, though. So when the other two teams did the shields, did you notice? Okay, so they both did rock, paper, scissors, shoot to see who got the shields. Now, with Derek, it was just Derek against Chriselle to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot, but they called it paper, rock, scissors. I've never heard it called paper, rock, scissors. I've always called it rock, paper, scissors,
Oh,
and then shoot,
Gen Z
obviously.
education. I don't know.
Yes. But the boys, then, it was Wes and Dylan that did rock, paper, scissors, and Dylan won. And Dylan said, like, he's done tournaments against 100 people where he won rock, paper, scissors against it, and he needs to put it on his resume. And I agree. If you've won this one and he got the shield for this too, put it on your damn resume that you're good at rock, paper,
That's crazy
scissors.
that you were actually able to win a competition that with 100 people over something like that. Like, that's impressive, actually, I
Right?
think.
I think so too. Put it
So
on
you
your
just
resume. That's a
easily
good
won right
one.
there. So,
Yeah. Against two
yeah.
people.
So he won, and then who else won? Well,
It was Chriselle.
and Derek
Yep.
was a little annoyed by that one. That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and then Carolyn also had a talk with Gabby in the woods, and
Yes.
Gabby's like, I trust everybody. I play the game with everybody. La la la. And she's all gossipy, but promise you won't tell anybody. Yes, oh my God, Danielle has been throwing you under the bus. Oh my God.
Yes.
So funny. Like, that's how you gossip.
Yes, exactly. While you're doing a mission in the
Right.
woods, you know.
Right. So yeah, they win. The clock runs out. They win. Everything blows up. Some
Yes.
explosion.
And the traitor gets knocked over.
Yes. The traitor has toppled.
Yes. I thought it was going to like catch on fire, but it didn't. The way that they did it, I mean, it's TV and pyrotechnics, so you know, they know more than I do. But I thought for sure that thing was going to catch on fire and burn for hours, but
No, they just
you
put
know, it
some,
didn't
they just
happen.
put the stuff, some tannerite in there and made it blow up instead.
Yeah. Exactly.
I learned
Thanks.
what
Got my
tannerite was
hopes
when I
up.
blew up a Care Bear one time. So I'm familiar with tannerite now.
Wow. That's a story for a different
There's a
day.
video on my channel of it.
Oh, well, then I'll have to check it out later.
So on the way back to the car, Carolyn, or on no, back in the car, Carolyn says, "So are the girls sticking together?" And we've got Danielle, Dolores, and Sierra in the car with her. So,
Yes.
so
And Dolores says that she's going to vote whatever way Rob is. And I thought that was weird.
yes,
Danielle and Carolyn are in the car that, and it's like, Dolores is going to go whatever way Rob goes. So what's going on there?
wow, and Danielle still made the choices she made, even having a little bit of
Knowledge.
forewarning.
Yep. Yep.
So wow, I missed that too. I don't know how I paused. I don't know how I missed these little things. I must pause in the wrong spot.
It's
And
all.
take notes and then miss these quick little lines or something.
You get the things that I don't see. It works out great though.
So, um, Carolyn's then in the confessional, pissed off, and says, Danielle better not even look at her or talk to her. And she is ready to bring it to the court tonight. And her goal is to get Danielle banished.
Yep, she's done playing nice and she would rather spend her time trying to get Danielle out. Yes, do it, Carolyn. I want to see
Yes.
it.
So as soon as they get back to the house, she pulls Dolores, or no, Wes pulls Dolores aside and says that Sandoval is coming for her.
Yes. He's like, and he says, I think it's just one of his weird theories, so don't really worry about it, though. And she's just like, fuck Sandoval. I'm like, yes, exactly what I've been saying this whole time.
Right.
And she says, Dolores says, he must have not had a lot of attention when in his younger years. I was like, he thought he was like the star of the show. Like because on Vanderpump, they kind of did like a recap of his when he met his like we met his mom and like his mom was like he was always the kid on stage doing everything. He thought he was the man. He's just an asshole. That's just him. He's just an asshole. And Dolores will find that out sooner or later.
Right. If she's,
So
I think she's found that out though, actually today.
yeah,
I
she
think
did. She did.
today was the day that she found that out. So then
Yep.
Derek's just telling the confessional he's gonna try to subtly bring up Rob's name. And
Mm-hmm.
then he pulls, yeah, he was so subtle. He pulls Ivor aside and he's talking about how this shit's 40 chess. Tells Ivor he's going to bring up his traitors theory, but Ivor's like so dense. He's like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Theory. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and meanwhile, Tom is in the kitchen shoving his face. So these are pictures of
Yes.
Tom.
Yes. And Rob was there too, talking to Gabby. And that's where Sandoval is shoving the food in his face. And he's like, I'm going to throw out Wes's name. And Sandoval kind of looks like, what? Wes? Like, you didn't know this? Oh, that's because you have crazy theories, idiot.
Right, right. Now, tell me this picture on screen does not look like somebody who found a whole buttload of Coca-Cola in Scotland.
Of something. Looks like
I
he's
mean,
withdrawing from something. That's what
he
I
looks
was saying.
high on stuff the entire thing. He always looks messed up.
Well, that's
He
the
says Heidi. He eats like a
the
pig.
inside knowledge of him before he left to go to Traitors. Supposedly, he was partying really hard with his new girlfriend, and it got outed on the Billy Lee podcast, where she said, like, I walked into his house, there was drugs all over the table, they had been partying for days and hadn't slept. And this was before he left for Traitors. So he might have been coming off on something there.
True. Or he got other people there that, I mean, I'm sure it's easy for him to find stuff. anywhere.
Maybe.
I mean,
How
I
would he
know
sneak that?
I could go and find weed anywhere, and I'm nobody, so I'm
But this
sure
is
he
a
can
different
find anything.
continent.
Yeah,
You're right. He might have stars like
but it's
fans over
Europe.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Europe. It's not like it's the Middle East or Asia.
Yeah. True. 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 You never know. It's
Yeah.
Sandoval.
Yeah. So, let's see. I lost my notes, so I will let you continue.
We then see West. Well, okay, that's where we saw West and Sam and Brittany. And Brittany was kind of not happy that they were going for Rob. And she kind of was eating at the table with them. And she kind of was just like, oh, okay, you're going to go for Rob. And she kind of grabbed her plate and walked away. And that's where Ivor joins them. And Wes is telling them that Derek is going to present it tonight at the round table, that they're going to go for Rob. And that's where all of that goes on. And Brittany's just like, I think I'm suspicious of Wes now. Because that's
Yep.
weird.
She thinks that he might be the puppeteer.
Yep.
Um, and while this is going on, also while these conversations are going on, um, Gabby and was it Gabby and Sierra or Sierra and Chriselle? I kind of sometimes I get Gabby and Chriselle confused,
Yeah,
but it
me
was
too.
Sierra and one of the two of them were just kind of walking from room to room, just not really talking about anything, just kind of eating and being like, "Oh, this is stressful" or whatever. Like they weren't really saying anything like meaningful of anything.
No, yeah. I think it was Sierra and Chriselle. They were just walking around, just la
Yeah,
di da,
right.
eating and walking. I think they were just trying to scope everything out and listen because I don't think either of them knew what they were going to do at the round table.
Oh, good point.
So
Very
maybe that was their way.
yes. Um, Brittany then goes to Derek. She was in the confessional, yeah, as you said, feeling suspicious of Rob. She goes to Derek at that point, tells him what Wes said. Derek's like, "Well, I'm not on a witch hunt for Rob. I don't know. I mean, yeah, his name came up, but everybody's name comes up. Jeez."
Yeah.
He's like, "There's no agenda here." Derek's ending confessional, wondering when the hell Brittany became such a traitor or such a protector of Rob.
Yes. And he thought she's a traitor.
Yes! It's so funny.
I mean, at this rate, they might need her as a traitor the way
Right.
things are
Yeah,
going.
she might end up as one. um, oh, yeah, so then Danielle's telling the confessional that if Derek can get the votes together, that she's on board to banish Rob. Then we've got
Yeah.
Chriselle, Rob, and Danielle talking. That's where Chriselle's telling Rob he needs to be ready because she keeps hearing Rob's and Wes's names. And she's hoping that Rob's got stuff to sway the vote against Wes. She doesn't have much to go on, but she just doesn't like the way that Wes talks to the women.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Wes definitely has always been a mansplainer. Wes has got the mansplainer in him.
Yeah, he's I mean, he was on House of Villains for a reason. He's known as a villain even in MTV and the challenge and all of that. He's just an asshole. He's like an out there asshole kind of person. So
Right.
I get why people don't like him, but he's really good at playing the game.
He is. I think people like it seems like on the challenge when people really get to know him, he might be different. Like some of it might be, really exaggerated persona for TV because everybody wants to see Wes act like Wes.
Yes,
But
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Like, does he really think he's the greatest of all time of
He
everything in the
does.
entire world? I
He
don't think
does. He
so.
does. Even in House of Villains, that's how he was. He thought he
He's
was the shit.
he's
He
like that on
really
the
did.
challenge too. He's just that's
Yeah.
how he is. That's Wes giving Wes. So I don't.
Yeah. And it all started back on Road Rules. Back in the
Right?
day when he won Road Rules.
I didn't even watch Road Rules back then, so I
Oh,
have no idea. But that's funny.
that's the first time I ever met Wes. He wasn't as cocky back then, but then when he won, he turned into a cocky little son of a bitch.
And
Which
he is not the best reality player of all time, or else he wouldn't have been eliminated fifth or murdered
yeah,
fifth or
I
banished
agree.
fifth, whatever.
Yep.
So then we've got Chriselle leaves, and Rob asks Danielle if she thinks that it's true. I guess about Wes coming for him. Well, she replies, "Well, I don't know. I heard everybody saying Wes's name."
Yeah, she doesn't even answer the question.
No, she completely avoids it. Like, I'm not telling you that you're gonna get mentioned tonight. Oh,
Yeah.
you somebody. Hi, Lucky Chucky.
Hi. I haven't seen you in a minute, Lucky. How are ya?
Did I say Chucky right? Is that
Yeah.
Then we've got the round table at that point begins.
Yes. Which the prize pot is up to 100K, Alan tells them.
Oh my God, thank you so much because I missed that number
I got you,
too.
girl. I
You
got
are
you.
awesome. I'm gonna write right here.
That's a big prize pot for sure.
It is, and they're only on episode 5. I bet they're gonna have stuff that subtracts the prize at some point.
Yeah.
Like something
We'll
to piss them
see.
off and take money out of the prize. And then at the end they'll have something like really big, like a big money dump or, something. Maybe. I don't know. Speculation. So as they enter, they've all got their goals. Derek and Wes want Rob out.
But
Rob is
Dolores actually starts it, which
right.
was great. And Dolores just starts, she's like, I heard my name's been thrown out. And she looks right at Sandoval and she says, Tom, go for it. And he's like, what? His heart dropped to his ass all of a sudden. He's like, well, I'm nervous. She's like, don't be nervous. Just tell
I
me
bet
what it
this is why he
is.
got that picture because he just didn't know what to say. He's like,
Yes.
he's like, this is so hard.
Yes. And he says that her biggest red flag is because she doesn't go around looking or actively pursuing and asking questions. And Dolores is like, maybe I just don't go to you. And when
That
I'm
was
thinking, I
great.
wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
Oh my God, I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. And then Tom wants to talk, but Derek cuts him off, which I
They're
loved
so
that.
impatient. Like, come on. Y'all are stupid. Nobody has time for this bullshit. Let's get to the real business.
Yeah.
Tom's like, no, I got more to say, but then Dolores cuts Tom off.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was so funny. And Dolores is basically
She's like,
says,
Bob H had something good to say before he left. So
yes.
she said, a something faithful is worse than a traitor. And she's like, do you know what that something is? And people look around, they're like, a bad faithful? Yes. And she goes, Tom, I think you're a bad faithful.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. It was
Which was right on the money.
yes. Then Derek finally gets his time to spearhead this conversation and come for Rob.
Yes.
Derek begins by talking about Bob the drag queen and how that whole banishment went down, getting the traitor. Derek says Nikki's name was on the table, but Bob the drag queen threw his vote at Rob. But that's not what happened, so I don't know why I wrote that. Because
No,
he was trying to get votes at Rob, I guess, but I'm confused.
Well, no, Bob the drag queen did pick Rob that night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's what he meant. He could have picked Nikki to be eliminated that night, but he picked Rob.
Okay.
So there was something there.
A different vote, and that's where I was getting confused. Like, wait a minute.
Yes.
He voted for Rob. Okay. So then, so he ended up voting for Rob, and he said that, he could have voted for Nikki, but instead he voted for Rob, Derek says. And then at breakfast, he was so surprised that Rob came in because if Derek's a traitor, he's getting rid of him because Rob is just too dangerous to keep in the game. Anybody that could pull off a move like that is just too dangerous.
And I agree. I agree completely.
Yep. Derek says they're indisputable facts. You can't deny the facts. And I think, and this is great, and I think that when all of you denied him access to this castle, you created that monster. And he says, and the man behind me turned him into a traitor. And Alan's sitting behind him.
Yes. I love that, like, Gabby calls out Wes too, and how, like, he's always, like, blind loyalty, and Chriselle agrees that Wes comes off too aggressive and that he just plays too hard, and he's like he tries to be the most valuable person in the room kind of a thing,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is true.
So true. Yep, it is. And then Rob is trying to mount his defense. He says, "No, you are badly misguided." Rob reminds everybody that Bob the drag queen said the very last thing that Bob the drag queen said is everything I said is a lie. So
Yep.
therefore, Bob was lying, Rob says. Then Rob says, this morning I was also thinking that I would be eliminated. I was scared. I thought, look, 50-50, it's going to be me or it's going to be Ivor. Rob says then when him and Ivor were both there, he was completely shocked. He thought for sure, if not him, Ivor, because Ivor is a proven faithful. He says even Bob the drag queen voted for Ivor.
Yes.
Rob hesitates then because he's like, I know the traitors are sitting here, but why in the world would the traitors not murder Ivor? Rob says
Yep.
when he sees Ivor sitting at breakfast, his mind is blown. How is he and Ivor both here? Oh my
Yep.
God, Rob.
He's
I'm
good. I mean, this is a good speech.
It really is a good speech.
I didn't know how he was going to pull this in. I was amazed.
And
He almost
Danielle
had
and
me
Carolyn,
believing it.
which is why he's a better reality show player than Wes is, because Wes couldn't find, he didn't try to find any options for himself
No, he just said he
at
was going to come
all.
after everybody.
Yeah. Rob says, who here is smart enough to make that kind of move to make me look guilty? They set me
Hmm.
up for the banishment. That's why we're both here, because they wanted us to look guilty and have you guys do the dirty work of banishing us instead of them murdering us.
Yes.
It's all to create. He looks around. He says, "Who here has been causing the most chaos?" Then that's
Hmm.
he says that this person has said Dolores' name, Carolyn's name, Danielle's name, and all those names they came from Wes.
Yes. And that's where Carolyn kind of like interjects too, because she's just done with Danielle and she's just emotional as she tells the group that she found an ally in Danielle, but it's not the case because she's been told by multiple people that Danielle was spinning lies about her,
Mm-hmm.
and that Danielle is the one that needs to be banished tonight because she believes she's a traitor.
Yep. Yep. And then Wes, because I guess Chriselle was talking about him being aggressive. Wes says, yes, he is aggressive. It just is what it is. For 20 years, I've had to play this way to be the most winningest winner of all the winning reality games of all winning times of winning life. I'm the winningest winner, and that's what you do to win.
It's like, oh God, Wes, please.
I know. So then Wes says, do you know what a bad traitor would do? Run around and be aggressive. That's what a bad traitor would do.
I mean,
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
then Wes says his final thoughts are that he's going to dial the aggression back. He appreciates people not voting him out. And for the one or two people that do vote him out, he's got his eye on them.
Yep.
I mean, he could have said it so much worse. Like, he actually said it quite politely, but nonetheless, everybody knew that he was threatening them. And they're like, hey, you're being aggressive again, dude. Shut the fuck up.
I know.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying the F bomb in these.
Well,
Um,
they say the F bomb too, though.
that's true. um, Then Carolyn also said that she thought Wes was being used as a scapegoat when she was going in on Danielle. That Wes
Yes.
is just a scapegoat. That she's never fit in anywhere, and that she was so excited to have Danielle as her alliance member. And then let's see.
Derek tries to swing the
Yeah,
last minute vote before Alan kind of closes it off. And you can even see Derek looking at Dylan going, vote Rob. And
Yeah, he's
Brittany
like the
looks at
most
him and he's
impressive
like,
object in the
no.
world. Yeah.
Yes.
He says
I'm
they'll
like,
look dumb if we
Alan
vote
said
West.
stop. Alan said stop already.
They'll look dumb if we vote West just because he irritates us. So he's
Yes.
getting very transparent and just say out loud he's voting for Rob. And then, yeah, as the vote begins, Derek's mouthing to Dylan, and then Brittany's mouthing to Dylan. No, Rob's like, or Derek's like, yes. Brittany's like, no.
I'm like, where's Alan? I thought Alan was gonna be like, shut up.
I know. No, but Alan just kind of let him go, and then he said
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
Rob's in the confessional, not having any clue what's going on because Carolyn's out there going for Danielle, and he thinks he could be on the chopping block. Danielle's in confessional saying that she wants Rob gone, but if she writes the wrong name down, it could be a huge target on her back.
Yeah.
And then they show the votes, and we've got people that voted. Well, first we've got Dolores voted out Tom. Carolyn voted out Danielle, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the people that voted Rob out were Wes, Gabby, Derek, Tom, and Danielle, which was amazing. But it
Yep.
was not enough votes. Danielle voted wrong. Danielle and Derek both on the wrong side of the fence, and they did not want to be. The people that voted Wes out were Dylan, Sam, Ivor, Rob, Chriselle, Brittany, and Sierra.
Yeah.
Uh,
7-5.
Yeah, 7-5, and then one for Danielle and one for Tom. So that was 14 votes. And
Yeah.
so then Wes gets eliminated. Alan calls him up to the circle of truth and
Yeah.
says he reveals that he's a faithful. And then as he walks out, he reveals, he goes through a long speech, and there's like, yeah, I'm a faithful, and all you guys can go fuck
Fuck
yourselves and
yourself.
flip
Yeah.
flop and walk out.
Yes.
Oh,
That's such a West move.
he also had to say too that he was the winningest winner of all winning times in the reality of winning history of winning TV.
Yes. Which
He had
is really like Rob at that. I think Rob is like the winner of winners, not Wes. Just because you're on the challenge doesn't mean like you're the best winner of winners. Like, if you think about
right.
it, Rob is the best. Like, they've already said that about him. A lot of people know Rob as being the best of all time.
It sounds like a new competition reality show, The Winningest Winner, and just get winners from all the shows.
That's
Or
a
top
good
five.
idea.
Like top five of
NBC,
all
we want to
the
split. We want to split NBC. There you
shows.
go.
I mean, I guess that's kind of called the challenge, but they could even make a new show.
Yeah, no, that's not the challenge because that's only road rules in real world people.
Well, now that they've
And they
kind of
add some new people.
added some
Yeah.
Ivor and Big Brother, they keep it to a Paramount family kind of thing.
Yeah. True,
Um,
true.
So Rob is telling the confessional he got through by the skin of his teeth without the help of his traitors because Danielle voted for him. Carolyn voted
Yeah.
for Danielle. And he knows that Carolyn is just done with Danielle.
Well, that should be his sign to be like, okay, we can get Danielle out. Carolyn doesn't want Danielle. Let's get Danielle out because clearly she's throwing me under the bus. Let's go for her. Like, that should be his game plan.
Agreed.
But I don't think he's thinking like that at this point.
I have no idea. I did not watch I made a point not to watch the previews.
Ooh, I did watch the previews.
That's funny.
Just a little. I had to because it was too good.
But then I got confused because I watched the little bit I watched last week confused me, like on where I was this week, and I just like, no, I can't. My confusion is too easy, so I couldn't watch them. But so I guess then they all Rob's like, this is a shit show. It's a total disaster. Then Brittany pulls Derek away and says,
You lied to me.
Really
Yeah.
she calls Derek a dirty scumbag liar. He's like, well, why am I a dirty scumbag liar? She said, because you said you were not leading the charge against Boston Rob. And Derek says, you want to know why? Because you and Rob have been hanging around a lot. And I saw you say to Dylan before the vote, don't vote for Rob. And when he said that, I was thinking, but that was right before the vote, you idiot. You already freaking had established, you'd already lied to her. Like,
Yeah.
why are you throwing that in? Brittany says, well, I don't think Rob's a traitor. Derek says, well, maybe because you're a traitor.
Dun dun dun.
Yep. Brittany's telling the confessional that Derek, oh wait, let's see, I lost him. Wait a minute. Derek pulls Dylan. Brittany tells confessional Derek thinks that I'm a traitor. He point blank lied to her face, but he calls her the traitor and he's mad at her.
Yes.
This picture of Wes in this jacket. Does anybody remember a clothing store called County Seat? I worked at a
Yes.
manager at a clothing store called County Seat, and this jacket, I swear, it looks like something modern day County Seat because they had so much Aztec print stuff. Anyway,
I was wondering because that looked so familiar, and I thought to myself, I mean, where have I seen that before? And when you say it now it clicks. I didn't even think of that. Yes.
yeah, like that exact same pattern and color scheme. And they
Yes.
had it in jeans, but the jeans back then were the flip top jeans.
Of course.
So this is why it's much, much more modern, but yeah.
I don't think it fits him too well, but that's
It feels like
Wes.
he had a stylist, like put all his clothes together for him because I don't.
Maybe. He's not really good at styling himself. He's usually in black all the time. So
Oh yeah,
this
he
is the
probably
first
did.
time we haven't really seen him in black or like a color like red or blue for the challenge, but
Right, and like the whole time, I think this jacket does not fit him at all, and it looks like something off of County Seat racks. So, Derek
so
then pulls Dylan aside, says
ooh,
Rob's a
yes.
traitor for sure, and Brittany too. He says,
Yes.
why is she pushing for him? She never speaks, and now she never even speaks to me, and she's supposed to be my number one. She walks in the room and looks at him and walks out. He's like, yeah, see, she knew she couldn't stay in there because I demolished her, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
I get her, man. It's like, so.
It's like,
So
no, she just didn't want to deal with you anymore, Derek.
done with you and your lies, and then trying to call her the traitor as you were the one that lied to her. Like, that was what the look on her face was.
Yep.
So then they go up to the turret. So right before the end of the show,
Yes.
two traitors
We
band
see
together.
them at the turret. And they're not saying anything again. They're just looking at each other.
Right. I used actually the same pictures as I did from the beginning instead of taking new ones because I
It's
thought they
literally
just.
the same.
Yeah.
Literally the same. And it's like, who's going to speak this time? Because I can't wait to see next week's episode. Because Carolyn, in her confessional right before they went up to the turret, she was just like, I'm going to say what's on my mind and then I'm going to tell her like it is and I'm coming for her. And I did see a little bit of a preview of next week, and she's trying to convince, like, she says in the terror that I want to murder you, Danielle. And even Rob's like, yeah, I wish I could too. I was like, well, we're gonna see what happens here. I don't think you can murder your own traitor with her right there.
No, well, you can, but you just have to. It's got to be done at the round table. You got to convince people at the round table to do it.
Yeah.
He tells the confessional it's the absolute worst group of traitors he's ever seen. He's not wrong there because they can't get along.
No.
So
But that's
funny.
what makes it so good.
It
Because
is.
we've seen, for the most part, in season 1 and 2, the traitors getting along for the most part. Season 2, there was a little hostility, but this is like so heated that like they're gonna burn it to the ground because they all hate each other.
I know.
That it's like, is the faithfuls gonna win this one for sure? Or
I
like,
haven't seen a faithful win yet on anything that I've seen, but I'm sure faithfuls have won. They've had to.
yes, season 2 they had a faithful win.
Who? Oh, really? A faithful one
Yeah,
season 2? I thought. Did
I saw it in the Wikipedia when I was looking up
Okay.
the
I'm
fandom, the wiki fandom that they have for the
I just
Traitors.
completely am brain farting who won season 2. So, but I remember season 1 really well,
Yeah,
and I
because
know
season
that
one was the
person.
best.
It was
Besides
really.
this one, I really like season 3. I'm really digging it.
It is. It really does. It elevates this game so much by the traders having so much discord with each other. It's amazing.
Yeah, it does. And we still got Kate and Parvati that still have to show up. So we're still going to have some wrenches thrown in there. I don't know when
Yeah,
they're going to show up and how and what. And it's going to be interesting.
yeah. I feel like we got a lot of wrenches to go because it's still just going. We've got like 6 weeks left, I think.
Yeah.
So we're probably about halfway through, I guess.
Yep.
Just about. I can't remember the dates in March.
The 20th, I want to say it
Okay,
was,
the 20th. Okay. So yeah, just
is
about
the reunion.
maybe
I want to,
next episode's halfway, but yeah.
it's going to be
Kirsten,
interesting.
Kirsten says the murders need to be more dramatic. Letters waiting on the chairs are lame.
Well, see, when I saw that too, I was thinking, does everybody go in there to see if they get a letter before they go to breakfast? Because the way that Bob opened the door and he like looked in and saw the letter, he was just like, fuck. So I feel like maybe that's what they have to do before they go to breakfast is they go and see if they got a letter or not, and then they wait for like a couple people in their group and then they go in kind of a thing.
Oh, maybe.
Because at first when me and you were talking, we're like, do they stay in the castle or not? Because like how do they not see the traitors going out at night? But they do stay in the castle from what we see. They might
I don't
not
think they
though.
stay in the castle. I think that they pre-recorded all of that.
Yeah, because it's
Like, do
kind
you
of
remember
like dramatic scenes.
and do you remember when the show, well, Donald Trump, what was that TV show?
The
Um
Apprentice. The
Celebrity,
Apprentice.
yeah. But at the in the first few seasons, they used to do the walkouts after you got fired. They used to record them on, at the same time. But then, the last several seasons, they started pre-recording all of the walkouts, so everybody would have to walk out to the car and get into the car before the season ever even began. They did all that recorded stuff. So I feel like
Wow.
they do a lot of that kind of thing in these shows, like because you can get everybody in a room and you can even have them do a couple of changes of clothes and have them do a couple of different things in a bedroom to make it look like they're
Yeah,
sleeping
like
in there,
Sam showering in the shower.
right? And then Tom Sandoval playing with a rubber duck.
Yes, he would.
But yeah, I think that because I think that they have to have all of their makeup and the people that I don't know if the TV station pays for them to get done, but some of them have their own personal makeup
Stylist.
and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
and all that each day.
True.
So much. I don't think that they're staying
And if
in the
Alan owns
castle.
that castle, I'm not sure if he actually does or not,
No, he
but
doesn't own it either. I think
oh
it's
darn.
a castle that they rented.
Got my hopes up. I thought Alan lived there. I was gonna go visit him.
Didn't you know that all of the Cribs houses weren't owned by those people either?
Well, yeah, I did. After the fact. After I
Right.
was like,
Yeah,
not 16 anymore, thinking that like little Bow Wow's house was like so cool, dude.
I know. I'm
You
like
know?
25. Like, how does this 12-year-old have a house like that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Goddamn TV for ya. Just
I know.
ruin all my hopes and dreams.
I know. The illusion of the cameras and the things that they can do.
He
Um,
he looks like he's starving all the time. Like he even did that on Vanderpump. Like he's a weird eater. Like I don't know.
it
Maybe he has
reminds me
some
of a
kind of eating
disorder.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a disorder, the way he eats. But I shouldn't even say that. It's sort of, I just mean it to be gossipy. I don't know. Maybe not.
It's very possible. He did that even with Vanderpump for 12 years or 11 years that he was on the show.
He's the total
So
type. So
he is.
Missy came in here and had me go and open my mail real quick. For some
Ooh.
reason, I thought Missy was going to send me pepper spray. I don't know why, but I thought that she was going to send me pepper spray for some reason. But that's not what it was at all. It's the most beautiful ornament, and it's angel wings, and it says a piece of my heart is in heaven, and then it's got a little thing that says mom on it, and
Oh my
it's so
gosh.
pretty.
Missy.
So pretty. It's so nice. I don't know why I thought it was pepper spray. I have no idea where I got that in my head.
Because you need to be protected by the creeps that might be driving by your freaking house.
Maybe. I don't know, but this is even more amazing, and I love it.
Yes.
She
Oh, that's so
probably left, but I
nice.
love it. I will definitely send her a message, but
Oh, I
very
love
sweet.
it for
So yeah,
you. That is amazing.
I'll take a picture and post it. It's so pretty.
Well, I'll send you the pepper spray because you need to be protected, girl.
That's okay. I am not grifting. I just, for whatever reason, because last year, I know why, because last year on my birthday, she wanted to send me something. And last year on my birthday was when somebody called the police on me, made a false police call on me. And then
Uh-huh.
they started hardcore doxing me. So last year, I didn't want to give her my address at that point.
I don't
And
blame
I
you.
don't know. I guess so. I think just somehow that's how it got in my head, just from this damn community.
Do you have a baseball bat?
No, but I've got big knives.
Girl, big knives? No. You have to get them in the kneecaps because if you go with like a knife that's like potential murder, even though like, you know,
I
at
don't want to
least if you
murder.
got a baseball bat, you go for the kneecaps, you can take them out. It's not
They
like
can, they
assault with
can
the
still
well, it's
strangle
still
me.
assault. I think it's the same too.
But
Assault with a deadly weapon.
the hands still work, and they can still strangle me.
I have a baseball bat in the car, and I have one in each car actually, and in the house.
I've never owned a baseball bat in my entire
Well,
life.
I was a softball player, so I had a couple in my day.
I owned a mitt once, and it didn't get used.
I didn't want to play softball, but because I was good at basketball, my softball coach, who was also the basketball coach, was like, "You would be great at softball. You would be great the fourth person up, run into the base." And I'm like, "Oh God, I don't want to do this." But it's weird because all of my cousins' kids now, literally, all five of them play baseball and softball.
Oh,
It's like
cool.
I missed out. I must have missed
I
out.
My parents signed me up for t-ball in kindergarten, and I sat my butt down in the outfield and played in the dirt, and a ball almost
Oh
hit
my
me.
God, that was my
And
brother.
I cried, and I never wanted to go back again. And my parents got so mad because they paid that money. I'm like, well, what, kindergarten? Yeah, do I look like a sports person
Oh
even in
my God.
kindergarten?
That's exactly what my brother did. He cried during soccer camp. He hated sports. And I was the sports person. I did all the sports and then some.
That's
I
awesome.
will I will say I was pretty upset because I was a figure skater for 18 years of my life. And with the plane crash where the helicopter hit the plane, there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
16 figure skaters and coaches that were on the plane.
Oh,
And I thought for sure I might have known maybe one or two of them because six of them were from the Boston area. And I'm not that far from Boston.
right,
But because I'm older, thankfully, I didn't know any of them. But it just breaks my heart that these amazing people that, live on a legacy that I could never live on are gone.
right,
So
right. It is really
that's
sad.
sad.
Really sad.
Yeah. I was
But
watching figure skating last night too. The weirdo in me. But yeah.
um, let's see.
And you know what? I'm a little nervous because I live by an airport now and there's two plane crashes in 2 days. Like, that's really scary, dude.
And then there was also somebody was telling me, was it PMR? She was looking out her office window or something, and there were two planes that came really close to each other. They didn't
Oh
collide,
my
but they got close
gosh.
to each
Oh
other.
my
I
gosh.
guess that would have been in Arizona the other day.
Wow.
Um,
Oh gosh.
yeah,
I get nervous just when like I'm driving and the plane's going over me, which is like doesn't happen very often, but it happens enough because I live at the end of the runway that's scary enough for me that I freak out. So,
yeah.
and we've already had a small plane crash into a house on the other side of the airport like 6 years ago.
Oh
So
my
it's not something that can't happen,
god!
but
Right?
I worry. So
Heck yeah,
it's a crazy time we live in.
Lauren Marie. I'll put this one up, Lauren Marie. I'm
Oh,
glad I'm out of Florida because I lived right in the middle of two big airports.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
one was 15 minutes from me and one was 30 minutes from me. And there were multiple planes, especially, in busy seasons living by Disney. You would see, the trails, the smoke trails of,
Yep.
6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 planes in the air at once. Like,
Well,
they're just all flying all over the place, all right there.
that's where all of our planes go from my airport. They all go to Florida. We have 6 stops in Florida
Wow.
that these planes go because
There's
everyone's
so
a
many
snow
airports
bunny.
in Florida. Right.
Yep.
And then as you get down to South Florida and you've got the cities closer together and they've still got big airports, and like Hollywood's got a big airport, Miami, Tampa, St. Pete, and there's more airports down, and then plus there's a ton of private airports. There are so many houses in Florida now that have their own they live on an airplane strip. They build houses around private airplane strips now, so you've got your own airplane garage to store your airplane with
Oh
the
my
strip outside.
gosh.
And maybe 10, 20, 30 houses live around this strip, so you can fly your plane to work or
Yeah.
wherever every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they
Positive vibes for me and you, Pippi.
do. Yes, positive vibes for you guys.
I'm kind of off to the side, so they would really have to miss the runway pretty bad to hit my house. Because that we're like parallel. Like my front yard is parallel with the runway. So they would really have to come in on a hard angle. But anything's possible nowadays,
Right,
unfortunately.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
prayers for everybody that, lost somebody in that tragedy, and even the small little plane accident in Philly. That was heartbreaking to hear a little girl leaving the Shriners Hospital just to go home and didn't make it. So,
Gosh,
yeah.
that's sad. That's really sad.
But we got Traitors to look forward to next week. So,
Right. So, on that note, on that happy note,
yeah. And
so yeah,
they're
well,
going to
hopefully,
murder each other.
if the schedule allows, we will both be back next Saturday at 3. It just schedules get crazy. So, but hopefully we'll
Yes.
be back at 3 next Saturday.
My boyfriend decided to throw a last minute road trip on me yesterday. So I told him he was punished and he had to buy me some goodies, which he did.
Yep.
So,
He took her to the adult green candy store before
yes,
on the way to keep her happy. He knows how to keep her happy.
that he does. And knows how to shut me up too.
Exactly. I mean, he's smart. It
And he
works out
got me
for
to drive halfway. He got me to drive halfway. Even he lucked out the whole way.
Oh my gosh.
But we'll be back next Saturday for sure,
Yep.
unless
We will be
something
back next
comes up
week.
magically.
And thank you guys for joining us. And oh my gosh, can't wait for next week. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.